All right. What's up, cardboard
Degenerates.
Degenerates.
Cardboard degenerates.
Cardboard
yeah.
degenerates.
Our fellow cardboard degenerates.
We are here today, Dad's Rip Wax, with a box of 1989 Fleer rack packs. This, Matt, you want to talk a little bit where you got this, what the guy said?
So, found this at a flea market. There was 2 boxes. The guy said he guarantees that these are from a case that have the Billy Ripken original print fuckface cards. So we're looking for old fuckface in here.
For fuckface.
Now, I told him there's no way unless you knew the case number that you could tell the age of the case.
Yeah.
He said he opened one of these boxes already and it had it in there, so he was selling it. We will find out. I don't know if the same boxes had the Randy Johnson
Yeah.
not errors, but the original prints before they got blacked out.
Yep.
So we're going to open some rack packs, see what we got, man.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's rip into it.
It's going to be fun. This is a blast from the past. And maybe it's not even, maybe there's not the fuckface. Maybe there's a white scribble.
Ooh, that would be cool.
The black scribble, the saw cut through it, right? Yeah. All of those. Oh my gosh, look at these things. This just brings back memories, man.
Yep.
Look at this. We'll just go rack pack back and forth. How about that?
Let's do it.
All right. So I'm going to slice these open over here. Let's see if we can. I think you used to be able to open these on the back, right?
Yeah.
Just kind of split them all open. Let's see if I can still do this in my old age. All right. Boxes.
Cellophane.
Boxes.
Cellophane.
Yeah. When plastic was abundant, nobody cared about the environment.
Yep.
All right. We're going to start making piles down there of all these. Okay. We're going to open 3 packs at a time. See what we've got. Also, of course, Ken Griffey Jr. rookie. There's also the what was the?
Oh, there's the one error with the guy with like the bullseye above his head.
Yeah, he's on the Reds
or something.
On the Reds, right?
Yeah, on
something
the
like
Reds.
that. So I'm just gonna stack up these packs here. And we'll do one at a time. Or if you want, I can be opening them.
No, you just go right ahead and do yours. I'll get one ready over here.
Yeah, that's a good idea. This is taking me longer than I thought it would. All right, so here we go. Looking for fuckface, looking for Randy Johnson, of course, looking for Griffey, Kelly Gruber, Von Hayes. God, look at this. The miscuts on these things. Just the quality control. Where did they get these people from? The machinery was the machinists that put these things together.
They didn't care. They were printing
Yep.
a billion of these cards, and they were
That's true.
making money.
Billions and billions of these cards. Jay Buhner, Tom Bernansky, Benziger, Steve Lyons, Ron Robinson. Last one of this pack. Barry Bonds.
Nice.
I'll throw him up.
Oh yeah.
Just throw a little stack up there. I see an Oriole. Does not look like. It's Tom Niedenfuer. Checklist, Gary Redus, Jim Presley. These don't slide off the hands very easily. I'll be a little more careful with them. Ray Quinones. What is this?
Roger Clemens for the record.
For the record.
That's cool.
What is that? I haven't
never
seen
seen
that
that.
card before. We'll put this off to the side here. Old Roger Dodger getting us hot.
Tommy John.
Old Ruben Sierra.
Dale. Off center. Come on.
This is your first time opening cards?
Dual Heat. Doc Gooden. Darling, Darrell Hamilton. Bill Pacoda. Another Tim.
Timmy Tufel.
Greg Swindell. John Franco. 2 cards left. No fuckface.
No fuckface in that one. All right. Why don't you go ahead and open one of those packs, and I'll start with my stack. So one of these,
Gary Sheffield to start us off.
it was a rookie, right?
Yeah,
rookie year.
That's the rookie.
Rookie year, Gary Sheffield. Yeah. We'll put him up. Gary Ward, John Fishel, Chili Davis, Tom Hickey, Rick Honeycutt, Greg Gross, Mike Flanagan, Jim Gott, Greg Gagne, Cal Ripken Jr. That's always fun to hit a Cal. I wish it was his brother. Larry Sheets. These things are all flipped. Jeff Blauser. Glenn Wilson. Some stickers. All right, next pack here. Mike Campbell, Jose Oquendo, Lee Smith, Harold Baines, Jeff Reed, Luis Rivera, Harold Reynolds, Jose Uribe, Don Hinkle.
Ramon Martinez, that's a rookie.
That's a rookie, too.
So Pete Stanisic,
Yeah.
or Stanisic, same pose as Billy Ripken. Every time I would pull one of these, I would think
Yep.
that it was going to be Billy Ripken. And it would
What does that
deceive
say
me.
on his, can't really tell. It looks like Stano, I think is what it says on his.
That's dumb. He could have gone down in history.
Yeah.
Instead, he's just Stano.
For the record, Don Mattingly. All right. Well, maybe these were Rack
these are
Pack
Rack Pack,
exclusive cards. All right. Gene Nelson, Ron Jones, Jesse Barfield, Andy Van Slyke, Ken Herbeck, Jeff Blauser, Glenn Wilson, Bill McGuire, Todd Worrell, Bob Stanley, Daryl Boston, Herm Winningham, Otis Nixon, and Alvin Davis.
Old Alley.
Al.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Next ones are open. We're going to ram through these pretty quick. Glenn Wilson, Bill McGuire, Todd Worrell, Bob Stanley, Daryl Boston, Otis Nixon, Alvin Davis, Brett Butler, Fernando Valenzuela, Mark Williamson, Juan Agosto. All these came off this cutter
Yep.
hard left right. Look how bad that is. That's Sandy Alomar.
That's rough. Rhino.
Old Rhino.
R.I.P.
God rest his soul. Matt Noakes. John Kruk. All right. Get Mike Stanley. Rock Raines. Kurt Stillwell. Hippolito Pena. Greg Maddox for the record. I'm going to throw that up there. We're going to have the whole set by the time we're done here. Last pack, Danny Heap, Jeff Kunkel, Jeff Parrott, George Brett, off center. Greg Harris, Rick Roden. God, that top to bottom, just unbelievable. Craig Biggio, Johnny Ray, Kelly Gruber, Plunk. If there was a Billy Ripken in this pack, I'm glad it's not as bad as the top to bottom is on these things. I don't think I've ever seen packs that were that bad on these 89 Fleers.
I don't know. I've seen some pretty bad ones. I think I have a Billy Ripken that is just as bad top to bottom. So we've got no Griffey, no Ripken, no Billy Ripken, and no Randy Johnson yet. So let's see what we got going on here. Bill McGuire, Todd Worrell, Bob Stanley, Daryl Boston, Herm Winningham, Otis
Like
Nixon.
I've seen this pack before.
I feel like I've opened this exact same pack. Mark, yep, there we go. All right, Steve Bedrosian, Mitch Williams, Deion James, Daryl and Will, Ron Tingley, Kevin McReynolds, Don August. Was it Greg Jeffries, Joe Carter, Tim Browning, Mike Diaz, Bob Melvin, and Rich Gedman with a For the Record Kirk Gibson. We're
Kirk
putting that with the
Gibson.
set.
Is he an RIP too?
No, I think he's still alive. I think I
Okay.
just saw.
Maybe it's just wishful thinking on my part after he beat the Athletics.
Lance McCullers, Mike Davis.
Danny
All right.
Martinez.
Yep. Chris Brown. And Buddy Bell to end
Buddy
it
Bell.
off. That was
Okay.
about the worst rack pack I've seen yet.
Here we go. All right. We're in rack pack heaven. We're going to flip all these so I don't have to flip them when they're on camera here. All right. Dave Winfield. What an unbelievable athlete he was.
Yep.
Jeff Russell, Gerald Perry, Greg Matthews, Jeff Kaiser, Darryl Strawberry, Cal Ripken Jr., Jeffrey Leonard, Bill Buckner. Looking for Cal's brother here.
Yep.
At least give me an idea of what we're dealing with in this box.
Yes.
Mike McFarland, Mookie Wilson, Willie Upshaw, Frank Williams, Don Paul, Craig Lefferts, Oil Can Boyd,
Right
Ryan Sandberg, RIP, Mike Cook, German Gonzalez, Gary Varsho, Matt Noakes. Got another For the Record back in here.
John Kruk. Look at that.
Don Mattingly,
Yep.
John Fischel, Chili D, Tom Hankey, Rick Honeycutt. Here is a Boreal, J Tibbs. Not, there's no.
Nolan.
A little left to right on him. Dave Henderson, Mike Brumley, Nielsen, Lance Parrish, Joe Guzman, Paul Assenmacher, Hot Corners, and Orioles sticker.
Neato. No, if you're wondering what's going on over here, these white boxes, we made a bad purchase and bought some mystery boxes off of Facebook Marketplace and created a video, but had to stop it because they were so bad. Did not get anything out of them. All right, here we go. Fernando, Mark Williamson, Juan Agosto, Dave Stewart, Sandy Elmar Jr., Steve Shields, Shane Raleigh, Gina Petrelli, Ozzie Virgil, Double Trouble, Ken Daly, Dave Clark, David Cohn, and Mike Birkbeck. All right, that's pack one of Rack Pack number whatever. Deion James, Daryl and Will again. I guess I'll put him over there. Steve Lake, Ron Tingley, Kevin McReynolds, Don August, Jerry Gleaton, Greg Jeffries, Joe Carter, Tim Browning, Mike Diaz, Bob Melvin, Rich Gedman, Jamie Moore, Jim Gartner, and another Donnie baseball For the Record. I feel like, isn't there a sequence where you know you're going to hit the Bill Ripken? Isn't it like, I can't remember what it is. Maybe I'm making that up.
That's
There's George
beyond
Brett.
my capabilities. You know, the Biggio.
Biggio, rookie, right?
Yep.
Kelly Gruber, Eric Plunk, Von Hayes, Ike Horn, Junior Ortiz, Jeff Reardon. Again, I've seen this pack before.
Yep.
And Jay Buhner. All right.
Yep. All right.
There you go.
Back to me.
Yep.
Let's see if we get something here. Scott Terry, Mike Greenwell, Bobby Thigpen, Bo Diaz, Joe Hesketh, Mike Jackson, Robbie Thompson, Mike Heath, Tim Belcher, Jay Tibbs again, another Nolan Ryan.
Nice.
Hard left to right.
Dave Henderson, Mike Brumley, Scott Nielsen, Lance Parrish. Still looking for those elusive Randy Johnson,
Ken Griffey.
Ken Griffey, and old fuckface. Glavin.
Yeah.
That was new. Here's the triple A's. I always thought that was the coolest card. Those guys are just getting started on roiding up. Danny Cox, Luis Medina, Keith Hernandez with the sweet mustache, Dave Magadan, Julio Franco. Who do we have for the record in this rack pack? None other than Roger Clemens
Nice.
for the record. Last pack in this rack, Chris Gwynn, Bob Brower, Tracy Jones, Frank White, Bruce Benedict, Al Leiter, Jimmy Key, Gene Nelson, Ron Jones, very original name, Jesse Barfield, Andy Van Slyke. Some new cards in there, but
Yeah.
none that we were looking for.
Nope. All right, on to another rack pack. We got a bunch of upside down cards with an Orioles at the back. Maybe that's a good one. Who knows? Larry Sheets, another Cal. We'll just put them over here.
Ron Rifkin,
Yep.
for
Man,
once
that's-
in his life, he
For
was
once
the
in his life.
lesser important Rifkin.
Yep. Don Robinson, Dave Bergman, Oral Hershiser, Mickey Tettleton.
We're getting
That's
some new cards in here, though.
yep. All right, Major League Prospects. Dale Mohoric, Jim Pankovitz, Brian Harvey, Tony Fernandez, Kurt Young, Marvin Freeman, Todd Stottlemyre, John Smiley. He's not very smiley there. Bert, HOF. Gotta put him to the side. Terry Blocker, Benny, Mike Schooler, Jose De Leon, Bruce Hurst, and for the record, Greg Maddux. That's kind of cool. We're gonna get a whole set of those. All right, Bill Buckner, Kevin Eltzer, Doug Jones, Jeff Treadway.
Oh, it's Jeff Treadway. That's
that
the
the
one,
one
that
that
has
has-
the.
that has the thing.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you're
could
right.
have the printing bullseye.
Yep. Hey, we got a Greg Maddux,
All right.
Bill Wegman, Steve Kilburn, Brian Harper, Mike Bilecki, Pat Sheridan, and Dennis Rasmussen. Okay.
All right. Don't forget your Larry Sheets down here.
Couldn't forget Larry
How
Sheets.
could you forget Larry? Steve Shields, Shane Raleigh, Gino Petrali, Ozzie Virgil, Double Trouble, Ken Daly, Dave Clark, David Cohn, Mike Birkbeck, Jeff Montgomery, Sid, John Farrell, Cal Daniels, Lance Johnson, Sticker. Next pack, Mike McFarland, Mookie Wilson, Willie Upshaw, Frank Williams, Don Paul. Got an oil can Boyd I see below this, so Craig Lefferts is here too. Rhino,
Rhino.
R.I.P. Blowjob Surhoff, Mike Cook, German Gonzalez, does not look German at all. Gary Varsho, Matt Noakes. What do we have for the record? John Kruk seems to be in the back of a lot of these.
Yeah, he is. Another Donnie.
And last pack in this rack pack.
Dual heat.
Dual Heat, Danny Walling, Ron Washington, Ron Darling, Doug Sisk. New players.
Yep.
Daryl Hamilton, Bill Pecota, Tiffel, Swindell, Franco, Gary Jones, and wearing Jim Rice, and Raffy Palmero.
Okay. Here we go. Timmy, Willie, Gary. That's a rookie. Over
Another
there.
Sheffield rookie?
Yep.
Nice.
Gary Ward, John Fischel, Chili Davis, Tom Henke, Rick Honeycutt, Greg Gross, Mike Flanagan, Jim Gott, Greg Gagne, Jose Alvarez, Bob Kipper, and Scott Blankhead there. Next one, Brett Saberhagen. Couple of prospects. Dave Mahorek. I think I've seen this exact pack before. I remember that.
Smiley, not so Smiley.
Bert,
Circle me,
HOF,
Bert.
Yep. Terry Blaylock. Benny DeStefano or something. Mike Schooler. Another Donnie, for the record.
We're thick with Donnies.
Sick with Donnies. All right.
All right, come on
Bill
now.
Buckner, Kevin Elser, Doug Jones, Jeff Treadway again without the little thing above his head. Chris Spear, Spike Owen, Greg Maddux, Brian Harper, Mike Blecky, Pat Sheridan, and Dennis Rasmussen. Okay, I think I've had all those before.
All right. I'm going to flip a couple around here so I get them ordered correctly. And then we will... Away we go. Jesse Barfield, Andy Van Slyke, Herbeck, Glauser, Glenn Wilson, Bill McGuire, Todd Worrell, Bob Stanley, Daryl Boston, Herm Whittingham, Otis Nixon, Alvin Davis, Tom Brookins, Sticker, Franco, Larkin, Woodard, Nixon, Parrish, the Hawk, Andre Dawson.
That dude's autograph is so clean.
I've never seen it.
Oh, look it up.
Trammell. Come on now. Robbie Alomar. Brian Holton. Greg Maddux for the record. We have a whole stack of for the records over here.
Yeah.
Baseball sticker. Elster. Doug Jones. Jeff Treadway. Dave Gallagher. Chris Spire. Another Greg Maddux. Bill Wegman. Stu Clyburn. Brian Harper. Pat Sheridan. Denny Rasmussen. And Luis de los Santos and Jim Campbell.
All right. This will be roughly halfway through this box of rack packs, so let's hope we got something nice in here. Tracy Jones, Frank White, Bruce Benedict, Al Leiter, Jim DeShays, Dick Schofield, Jimmy Key, Gene Nelson, Ron Jones, Jesse Barfield, Andy Van Slyke, Ken Herbeck, Jeff Glauser, and Glenn Wilson. Jerry Gleaton, Greg Jeffries, Joe Carter, Tim Browning, Mike Diaz, Bob Melvin, Rich Gedman, Jamie Moyer, Jim Gantner, Mark McElmore, Fred Tolliver, Al Nipper, Doyle Alexander, Keith Moreland, Mike Capel, and Drew Hall, and our for the record is Roger Clemens. All right, start a new one over there.
These were not in cello packs in here.
Huh, interesting. Maybe that says something. Okay. Greg Matthews, Jeff Kaiser, Jeff Leonard, Bill Buckner, Kevin Elster, Doug Jones, Jeff Treadway again, missing the little thing, Dave Gallagher, Chris Spear, Spike Owen, Greg Maddux. That's actually it's left to right, or right to left, I should say, but the ink on it looks nice. Bill Wegman, Stu Cliburn, and Brian Harper.
Yeah, sharp looking card if it wasn't
Yeah.
so off-centered.
Yep.
All right, Sweet Lou Whitaker, Ed Whitson, Dave Anderson, Charlie Huff, Brian Smith, Lloyd Bannister, some new players that we haven't seen before. So maybe, just maybe, we'll get something in here. Rafael Santana, Larry Anderson, Jim Eppard, Manny Lee, Donnie Baseball. Not the most uncommon card.
Nope.
Bob Knepper, old Jose Canseco. You know, he's the greater of the Cansecos, like Cal Ripken Jr. was, and what was his brother's name? Ozzie Canseco.
Canseco, yeah.
Ozzie Canseco is the Billy Ripken of the Canseco family, but he doesn't have a cool card.
Nope.
Would it be McDowell, Tom Glavine?
There's your card again.
Yeah. Triple A's, Luis Medina, Keith Hernandez, Jim Aducci, Luis Aquino, Dave Magadan. Baseball stickers, last pack. Lance McCullers, something behind it that I can't pull aside. Joe Girardi,
Yeah.
Major League Prospects. Mike Davis. Look at those glasses on Mike Davis. Holy
Nice.
cow. What do we got here? Cecil Guante, Denny Martinez, Mark Gubaza, Chris Brown, John Candelaria, Buddy Bell, Brian Downing, Dave Steeb, Mike Gallego, Milt Thompson, Ernie Witt, and stickers.
Not even a single Griffey yet.
Woof
This
da.
is
Okie dokie.
okay. All right. Jeff Montgomery, Sid Fernandez, John Farrell, Cal Daniels, Lance Johnson, Mike Krukow, Dennis Lamp, Vance Law.
Good color on that one.
Yeah, I know. Too bad it's
Sharp.
somebody that
Pops.
Jack Morris, that one pops too. Mark Davis, Lenny Harris, and Marty Brown for pack one in that rack pack. All right, Mark McElmore, Fred Tolliver, Al Nipper. I feel like I've seen this pack before. Jeff Hamilton, Chad Kruder, Pascal Perez, Steve Farr, Todd Simmons, Dave Rigetti, Spaghetti, Craig Reynolds, Devin White, Lloyd Mosby, and Greg Maddox for the record. Okay, let's see what we got here. I don't remember seeing Joe Hexeth before. I've seen Mike Jackson, Robbie Thompson, Mike Heath, Tim Belcher, Jay Tibbs, Nolan. Gotta love Nolan. Dave Henderson, Mike Brumley, Scott Nelson, Lance Parrish, Jose Guzman, Paul Assenmacher, and Hot Corners. All right.
All right, ripping and reading, baby.
Ripping and reading.
All right, we are over halfway through. So far, we are striking out Jim Rice, Raffy, Teddy Higuera, Willie Frazier, John Moses, Mitch Webster, Jeff Robinson, Andy Hawkins. Can't get my fingers beyond that. Mike Devereaux, Jose Cesena, Tim Wallach, Willie Wilson, another Gary Sheffield, Mark Langston, Don Robinson, Dave Bergman. Oh, what is that? Oral? Mickey Tettleton. I saw the Orioles.
Yep.
Eck, Winfield, Hal Morris, Greg Harris, Jeff Russell, Gerald Perry, Greg Matthews, last back, Jim Whalewander, John Shelby, Brady Anderson, man, a young Brady Anderson, Gerald Young. Here's some new cards.
Yeah.
Haven't seen these yet. Carney Lansford, Matt Williams, Claudel Washington, Kevin Gross, Paul Kilgus, Al Hall, like father, like sons, Robbie and Sandy Alomar,
Yeah.
Tom Jones, Don Gordon, Len Dykstra, Tom Filer, and for the record, old beer chugging Wade Boggs.
Yep. He had a couple on that flight. All right. David Cohn, Mike Birkbeck, Jeff Montgomery. I missed a card, I did not. Sid Fernandez, John Farrell, Cal Daniels, Lance Johnson, Mike Krukow, Dennis Lamp, Vance Law, Dan Plesac, Dan Petrie, Gene Larkin, Darren Jackson, and a sticker. Rick Muller, Ryan Fisher, Mike Campbell, Jose Oquendo, Lee Smith, Harold Baines, Jeff Reed, Luis Rivera, Harold Reynolds, Jose Uribe, Don Hinkle, Ramon Martinez.
Pete Stanczyk. You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch. Storm Davis, and for the record, your boy, Kurt Gibson. Jim Rice, Raffy Palmero, Ted Higuera, Willie Frazier, John Moses, Mitch Webster, Jeff Robinson, Andy Hawkins, Randy Creamer, and Miguel Garcia, Mike Devereaux, Jose Cesena, Tim Wallach, Willie Nelson, and a Gary Sheffield, and
We are
very well centered
hot
Gary Sheffield.
on the Gary Sheffields
Yeah.
today.
That one is a good looking card, but not the one we're looking for.
No Randys,
No Randys. No
No no fuckface.
Yeah.
Let's see what we can do here. All right. Swindell, Franco, BJ, Manwaring, Jim Rice, Raffy, Ted Higuera, Willie Frazier, John Moses, Mitch Webster, Jeff Robinson, Andy Hawkins, Mike Devereaux, Jose Cecina. Next pack. John Farrell, Cal Daniels, Lance Johnson. Dennis Lamp, Vance Law, Dan Plesac, Dan Petrie, a lot of Dans.
Dan Hot
Gene
Pack.
Larkin, Darren Jackson, Jack Morris, Blackjack. What do we got? What do we got? Mark Davis, Lenny Harris, and Marty Brown. Hot Garbage, Paul Kilgus, Al Hall, Tim Jones. What do we got here? Flash Gordon? Is that what we got? No, Don Gordon. Not Tom Gordon, Don Gordon. Len Dykstra, Tom Filer, Mookie Wilson, Mike McFarland, Willie Upshaw, Frank Williams, Don Paul. We've got all these Gary Sheffields and no other major rookies.
No.
Wrong box.
Yep. Interesting. All right. Don Slot, Kent Tekove, Cecil Epsy, Charlie Puleo, Cannon Arms, Chris Sabo, and Bagonio. Right there. Luis Alicia, Brad Havens, Dwight Gooden, Odell Jones. I should probably put Doc Gooden over there. Gary Thurman, Mackie Sasser, Mel Hall, Rob Murphy, Dan Pasqua, and Greg Maddox for the record. All right. Severely off-center, Buddy Bell, Brian Downing, Dave Stibe, Mike Galileo, even worse, Milt Thompson, Ernie Witt, R.J. Reynolds, Gary Gaetti, a checklist.
First checklist of
I've had a couple.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah.
I missed.
Vicente Palacios, Edgar
Edgar
Martinez.
Martinez.
Boy, he looks rough there. Tony Pena, Ellis Burks, and Ivan Calderon. Bill McGuire, Todd Worrell, Bob Stanley, Daryl Boston, Herm Winningham, Otis Nixon, Alvin Davis, Brett Butler, Tom Brookins, Fernando Valenzuela, Mark Williamson, Juan Agosto, Dave Stewart, Sandy Elmer
Whoa,
Jr.
look how off center that is.
Yowzers. Yep. And some stickers.
Okay.
Okay.
Jack Morris, Mark Davis. What do I got behind here? I cannot pull these cards apart today. Danny Heap. I'm glad I wasted all that energy to get Danny Heap. Jeff Kunkel. The Parrot. Jeff Parrott. George Brett.
There's a guy.
Greg Harris. Greg Roden. Craig Biggio. Johnny Ray. Kelly Gruber. Juan Hayes. Stickers. Marvell Wynn. Don Slott. Kent Kolda. Cecil Espy. Charlie Puleo. Cannon Arms. You like that card or something?
I don't know. It had Cannon Arms on it. They had Cannon Arms.
Doc. Odell Jones. Gary Thurman. Mackie Sasser. Mel Hall. Rob Murphy. Dan Pasqua. Andres Galarraga for the record.
Ooh, that's a new one.
Ryan Holman.
Oh, no.
Oh, I couldn't help it. I had to jump ahead. Ernest Riles, Eric King, Mike Marshall, Terry Kennedy, Ron Oriole, Glenn Davis, Dave Parker. New cards.
Yeah.
Jack Clark, Tommy John, Mike Maddox, Ruben Sierra, Dale Murphy.
Okay. Now this is surprising that we have not seen a single Griffey. Juan Agosto, Dave Stewart, Sandy Elmer Jr., Steve Shields, Shane Raleigh, Gino Petrelli, Ozzie Virgil, Double Trouble, Ken Daly, Dave Clark, David Cohn, Larry Sheets, Mike Birkbeck, and Jeff Montgomery in the first pack of that rack pack. Jose De Leon, Bruce Hurst, Ozzie Guillen, Rob Dibble, Wallace Johnson, Mickey Brantley. These are new cards. Mike Aldretti, Guillermo Hernandez, Mike Sosha, Jeff Ballard, Ron Oriole. A lot of chest hair. Mike Scott, Greg Carteret, Dickie Thon, Ken Phelps, and a for the record, Greg Maddox. Jose Guzman, Paul Assenmacher, Hot Corners, Larry McWilliams, Rod Allen, Wally Blackman, Chris Bosio, Nick Capra, Bob Ojeda, Andy Allenson, Danny Jackson, Mark Salas, Joe Price, Mike Smithson, and Les Lancaster. Okay.
Here we go.
All right. Ron Robinson, John Dobson, Mark Langston, Don Robinson, Dave Bergman, Oral Surgeon. Oh, Mickey Tettleton, you teased me. I saw the Orioles. Bill Duran, Eck, Winfield, Al Morris, Greg Harris, Jeff Russell, Gerald Perry, Pitcher Perfect, Dave Dravecki, Kevin Romine, Calvin Schiraldi, Joey Meyer, Sherman Corbett, Goose Gossage, new cards,
Yeah. That's
Gary
nice.
Pettis, Randy Reddy, always ready, Kurt Gibson, Ed Vandenberg, Tim Burke,
Tabler.
Pat Tabler, and Rocket for the record, Jeff Kaiser,
Daryl.
Cal, Wrong Ripken,
Wrong Ripken.
Jeff Leonard, Bill Buckner, Kevin Elster, Doug Jones, Jeff Treadway without the print bullseye, Dave Gallagher, Chris Spire, Spike Owen, Greg Maddox, Bill Wegman, Stu Clyburn, and a Padres sticker card.
So fun.
We are
got
down to our
two
last
left.
row.
Yeah, we got 2 left after this one. So, gotta throw a last second Hail Mary here. All right, Bob Nepper, Jose Canseco. You like that guy. I'll give it to him there. Jeff Pico, Roberto Kelly, Ricky Jordan, Oldby McDowell, Tom Glavine, rookie. Triple A's. Danny Cox, Luis Medina, Keith Hernandez, Jim Aducci, Luis Aquino, Dave Magadan, and Donnie Baseball. Bill Doran, Dennis Eckersley, Dave Winfield. You like that one too. Al Morris, Greg Harris, Jeff Russell, Gerald Perry. Pitcher Perfect, Tom Browning. Okay. Greg Matthews, Jeff Kaiser, Daryl, Cal,
Wrong Ripken,
Wrong Mariner, Bill Buckner, Brian Downing, Dave Stive, Mike Gallego, Milt Thompson, Ernie Witt, R.J. Reynolds, Gary Gaetti, Doug Sisk, Dave Schmidt, Jose Alvarez, Bob Kipper, Wrong Mariner, Scott Terry, Mike Greenwell, and Bobby Thigpen. Wow. This is disappointing. I would say.
Impressive how
Impressively disappointing.
impressive how pedestrian these
Last
cards
rack
are.
pack.
Teddy Higuera, Willie Frazier, John Moses. This is not going so great. Nate, Mitch Webster, Jeff Robinson, Andy Hawkins, Mike Devereaux, Sena, Tim Wallach, Willie Wilson, another Gary Sheffield. We're getting some of those.
A lot of Gary Sheffield.
A lot of Gary Sheffield rookies. John Fischel, Bob Malachi, Tracy Woodson, Mike Stanley, Rock Rains, Kurt Stillwell, Scott Service, Hippolito Pena, Danny Darwin, Wally Joyner, and Fred McGriff. Those are our first of those two.
Oh, yeah.
Todd Burns, first David Wells, Doug Drabeck, Danny Gladden. A lot of new cards, but
Yeah.
not the ones we're looking for. Greg Maddox for the record. Kruko, Lamp, Vance Law, Dan Plesac, Dan Petrie, had this pack, Gene Larkin, Darren Jackson, Jack Morris, Mark Davis, Stupid Prospects, Danny Heap, Jeff Kunkel, Jeff Parrott. Yep, I've had this. George Brett, Greg Harris, and we are down
Ladies and
to
gentlemen, the last
rack pack.
rack pack right here. All right. Mike Bilecki, Pat Sheridan, Dennis Rasmussen. These guys. Chris Gwynn, Bob Brower, Tracy Jones, Frank White, Bruce Benedict, Al Leiter, Jim DeShays, Dick Schofield, Jimmy Key, Gene Nelson, Ron Jones, and some stickers. All right. Luis Alicia, Brad Havens, Doc Gooden, Odell Jones, Gary Thurman looking surprised to be on camera, Mackie Sasser, Mel Hall, Bob Murphy, Dan Pasqua, Dave Dravecki, Kevin Romine, Calvin Schiraldi, Joey Meyer, and Sherman Corbett.
Last pack.
Last, very, very, very last pack. Tommy, Todd Benzinger, Steve Lyons, Ron Robinson, John Dobson, Mark Langston, Don Robinson, Dave Bergman, Oral Hershiser, Mickey Tattleton, Bill Doran, Eck, Dave Winfield, Hal Morris. Wow.
What did we learn?
I think
So
we learned.
usually in at least the boxes of cards, you
Yeah.
could count on
One Griffey,
one Griffey.
one Billy,
Yep.
and one Randy.
Yeah,
In the rack pack boxes, none.
I'm shocked that we didn't find at least one of those
I wonder,
in here, but
I mean, you see the packing tape that holds it together. I'm wondering if in the rack packs there was, if you saw a certain person on front, you knew that had a Griffey. If you saw a certain person on front, you knew it had a fuck face, right?
yeah.
So I'm wondering if somebody went through, grabbed all those, put some other packs in here, and
Maybe. This
Sealed
is
it.
not, I mean, you'd have to like just peek through the side here
well, I don't know that this
because this
packing
was
tape.
sealed.
I don't know that this packing
Oh.
tape was factory.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Yep. So, a little disappointing, to be
Yeah.
honest. We have a lot of 89 Fleer that are worth absolute garbage, and not even one of the desirable cards came out of it. So,
Nope.
until next time,
Yep.
Dad's Rip Wax signing off.
Yep.
We'll get bangers next time, I promise.
Nothing but bangers.
Nothing but bangers.
See ya.